Hello YouTube! Today I'm going to be talking about dreams, how I dream, and whether my synesthesia affects how I dream. So I guess we'll get started. So we might be asking, what are dreams and what is their purpose? A lot of people believe that dreams are just the way of the brain trying to make sense of what it's experienced the previous day or the same day, depending on when you go to bed. So what they're for, not a lot of people actually know, but they're pretty sure that it's just how the brain sort of filters everything that we've been through and just sort of makes sense of it. And I guess in a way it kind of does make sense because you've probably had a dream before where it involved something you actually did that day. So this is going to be part one of my dream segment. The stages of sleeping are actually cut into 5 parts, starting with the division with like the least amount of deep sleep, all the way up until deeper and deeper sleep until you get to REM, which is rapid eye movement, and that is where most dream occurs. They've actually proven that it doesn't just occur in REM, but that's where most dreams occur. So part 1 is going to be basically about me falling asleep and just the stage of like being awake and then falling asleep until I'm like actually sleeping. Part 2 will be about the actual dream state, being in deepest sleep, and third part will be waking up and remembering dreams. I have not really considered how synesthesia would affect my sleep or dreaming or anything. Because I mean I just never really thought of it until one of my viewers brought it up, and I thought, wow, that'd be really interesting if I did find something. And even if I didn't, I still have a lot to talk about because I feel a lot more active in my dreams than I do like in waking life, and that probably sounds crazy or doesn't make sense to anybody, but I think well, at one point I was going through a kind of rough period in my life where sleep and dream was really the only way I could escape, and it got to the point where my dreams started to feel so real that I honestly believed that dream was reality for me. I mean, I could just go on and on about dreams and how they affect me and, you know, how they might affect other people, and just, I think dreams are truly a mysterious, wonderful thing. Of course, unless you have nightmares and night terrors and stuff like that, which I will get into in part 2. But no, I certainly believe that we can learn a lot from our dreams, and you know, hopefully they'll tell us something important about us, or you know, whatever research brings up in the future. I think it'd be really awesome to kind of figure out. The other night, I actually paid attention to it so I can mention in this video what I see when I fall asleep. I think a lot of people, it's kind of hard actually, I think, to determine how we fall asleep, like the moment when we fall asleep, because it's like you're asleep. How would you know that? Well, I was laying in bed, and I usually sleep with some sort of light on just because that's just how I like to sleep. I like to sleep with some sort of light source, whether it's a night light or having my actual light dimmed kind of low. But I was laying in bed and I just closed my eyes and I sort of didn't really concentrate, but I wasn't being oblivious to what was going on. And I realized, and this has happened on numerous occasions, that I actually see colors and shapes and patterns sort of on a black background. So, and I don't feel like I have control over what these patterns are. I actually feel like I'm actually watching it like happen. It's kind of like when I watch music, except with music I'm more conscious about which patterns, because certain synthetic music will have more linear pattern, you know, and then certain actual instruments will have actual shapes. But I felt like I really didn't have control over what I was watching, and it was kind of interesting just to see everything evolving. And then of course I fell asleep, so I'm not really sure. It was only a few seconds of it before I think I was actually asleep. But I'm not sure if that has to do with my synesthesia or if anyone else has experienced that. It's not just me. So, I don't know, that was one thing. Just me in that state of relaxed, falling asleep, dozing, you know, seeing shapes like that. I'm pretty sure that's it that I want to talk about in part 1. Not very much, obviously, because, you know, the part when I fall asleep is nothing exciting going on there, just because it's kind of like, well, that's kind of a vague border of when you're awake and when you're asleep. It's like, yeah, we know when we're tired, but we don't know when we actually fall asleep, you know, the moment we fall asleep. Unless you have one of those things where, you know, you're dozing and you jerk awake because you feel like you were falling or something. I've actually read that that has something to do with, I think it's when you fall into REM sleep too fast, or it's your brain's way of like jolting you awake because it's not ready to process all of that memory or something. I don't know. Don't take my word for it on that specific thing, but I hope you enjoyed part 1. Not much to talk about, but I will have a lot to talk about in part 2 because that's the actual dream state, sleep, deep sleep stuff. So stay tuned for that. I will have it posted probably tomorrow, and hope you guys are having an awesome day. So take care of yourself, YouTube. See you later.